been 20 years since that season. And so you guys coming back together to do a tour. But has it been 20 years of friends? Have you guys always been this cool since then?
I mean, I hated Ruben for about the first 5 years after he won, but after that, I was fine.
So that is interesting, though, because you guys cool kind of bonded 20 years continuing to do things, but it came down to you two. So even back then, were you cool through that, even as you competed?
We both were, I think, a little bit ready for it to be over at the end. By the end, because we were kind of worn out. We were excited. We had both been told we were going to get a record deal out of the show. That was even before they announced the winner. And also, I think the fact that Ruben and I are so different is a good thing. We bonded because we have a lot in common, but we also have enough different, Ruben is the best at what he does. And I think I'm pretty good at what I do, but they aren't necessarily the same. And I don't think either one of us by the end of that show really believed that the winner meant one or the other was going to be better than the other. We just, we had enjoyed and both gotten to be on TV in front of a 40 million person audience. And everything at that point was going to be gravy. And regardless of what happened next for either one of us, we knew that we had a brother and we loved each other and we were going to support each other throughout.
It was just season 2. So some of this was it was kind of new. Like you didn't know you didn't know everything that came with all of that and all of the fame and the competition. But you also didn't know that you could not win and still have a huge career.
When we were on the show, the winner and the runner-up definitely had ample amount of opportunity to be just as exposed as the person that won the show. Like we understood the dynamic, so that's why I think that when we got to the end, we was like, woo, all right, well, I'm okay either way. Even though I'm glad I beat him, we were really okay either way.
Comparing them to someone, obviously Kelly Clarkson is incredibly successful with her talk show and all the stuff that she's done, the hits she's made, but let's not kid, Justin Guarini has done incredibly well for himself. The fact that Justin Guarini doesn't have his own talk show like Kelly does doesn't mean he hasn't been successful. I mean, a lot of it comes from the fact that each of them were on the show for the same number of episodes. Ruben and I had the opportunity for 16 weeks to come into America's houses twice a week on this TV show and kind of grow up in front of people. We've seen that same type of thing with subsequent seasons. It's the exposure that the show gives that has allowed Ruben and I to still be here 20 years later. 40 million people watching a show 16 weeks of the year was this incredible opportunity to have people kind of get to know us. And I think that